Swiss with the pressure on. 19 for the Slovaks, Karafitova. That's chipped back, and it's caught down there by the goaltender, Kaliska, for the Slovaks. 1 minute, 10 seconds played here, and this is the third game of the women's tournament. And the draw is scrambled. 77, Mikaskova turns it over for Reve. Swiss on that down low. That's 12. Godin. Back to the blue line. Skips by Chevalier. And Mikaskova in hard on the ball. That's Reve. She's back. Turns it over behind Mikaskova with an open net and a goal. Aileen Blazer caught cheating the other way. And just like that, Slovakia out to a 1-0 lead here very early in this game. 1 minute, 42 seconds in. A very aggressive forecheck from the Slovakians, causing the turnover behind the Swiss net. Goaltender gets caught going one way. Ball comes back the other. And Miriam Mikaskova puts Slovakia up 1-0. So we'll start again. It'll be Stasova on the draw against Bertin. Sent wide, and here's Rats. Rats sends it deep. Salm is on that. Around back of the net for Krajnikova. Lalikova sends it up the left side. Pinch down and a turnover, and it just rolls off the stick of Salm towards the net. Rats on that hard as she finishes her check in the zone, and Lalikova will regroup behind the Slovakian goal. Lalikova sends it out here for Stasova, who chips it, and that's going to roll the length of the floor, and that will be icing, and a faceoff will come back to the right of the Slovakian netminder. Slovakia, defending champions, as they hosted in 2011 in Bratislava. The Swiss here looking to get their first shot, looking to get their legs under them. On the draw will be Noel. Sabrina Noel. And she wins it back to the point. Loretin can't hold that. And away come the Slovaks. It's Krajnikova. She sends it in front. And that's Goreka. Back the other way. And we've got a whistle as the ball goes out of play. 1-0 here. Slovakia leads almost 3 minutes into this one. If you're watching at home, you can reach us here in the booth, 2013 WBHC@gmail.com. And you can follow us on Twitter, 2013 WBHC. Slovaks work it into the zone. 18, they're the shot. That was Palavkova, and she misses wide. Sent back into the zone to the right of Blazer, the Swiss keeper. Rakova steps up to make that play and negates the icing, and she's forechecked hard by Oliveira. Big battle on the boards there as Cherig goes in. Great wheels by the captain there, Mueller. And the ball goes back the other way. The Swiss will get in a change. And that will go for icing. As Chevalier takes a spill coming off the bench. She has a good laugh about it there with Jancic. And there'll be a face-off to the left of the Swiss keeper. Shot blocked. Put back in the zone by Pavlikova. Sent around the boards. Out front there for Mikiskova. Blazer tries to drop on that. She can't find it. She's all turned around. And that's chipped out of the zone by the Swiss. On the wide side there, that's Rive calling for it. Battle in front of the Slovakian bench. Bodies going everywhere. Chevalier in there. And that's sent down the floor by Yako. Swiss will clear and the Slovakians will set up behind their net. And away they come. Cross ice feed. That's knocked down there by Godin. Godin loses the handle over for Berthold. Onto the stick of Brutin. Brutin holds, sends it deep for Steiner. Steiner, and that goes on the back of the net, and that'll be covered by the Slovakian goaltender. That's Tomsikova down there in net for the Slovakians. A big girl in net, Tomsikova. On the draw, we have Brutin for Switzerland. Four minutes, 49 seconds gone here in the first period. 1-0 Slovakia. That's chipped off the boards, glove down. That'll be a glove pass, and the faceoff will move outside the Slovakian blue line. 4 minutes, 57 seconds gone here in the first period of both these teams' first games as they feel each other out here at the Glacier Arena in Mount Pearl, Newfoundland. Host site for the entire women's pool here at the 2013 World Ball Hockey Championship. Play in front of the penalty box, and it's chipped ahead by Stasova, and she sends it in on Blazer. And she will cover that up. Yes, folks, and that is one of our top Canadian exports, Nickelback. You'll hear blaring over the speakers. One of those things that uniquely Canadian, but Canadians don't really care for. And there's the draw. Sent in by number 25. That's Kolkanova. And sent back out of the zone by the Swiss, number 18, Loretin, Stephanie Loretin. On the ball's Krachnikova. Krachnikova, very nifty back there, brings it in front, and she's taken down hard by Noel. No call. Kept in there by Zitnanska. Zitnanska sends it for Goreka. Into the corner for Krachnikova. Krachnikova, feed back out there, and a big blast by Bednarova. And Bednarova just misses wide. Into the corner, it's Krachnikova. Krachnikova, the big forward, dominating down low here early. She's looking back here at the point. Covered closely by Apolos. And a big save by Blase in the net for the Swiss. Again, if anyone wants to help out with the pronunciation of any of these names, you can send an email to 2013wbhc@gmail.com. 1-0 Slovakia leads here. 8:28 remains in the first. And that's scrambled off the draw, kept in there by Gatchsova. Slovakia controls in deep again. Really working the ball down low here. And that's knocked away there by Blaze. Sent around the boards. Chipped out by Chirik. Poked at by Stoffel. In for Pavlovikova. Pavlovikova looking out front. Wraparound and a goal. And that's a goal by Slovakia, it's their captain. Number 9, 79, excuse me. Kapistova, Jana Kapistova. And it's a 2-0 lead for Slovakia, and they've kept the play deep in the Swiss zone early here. And it is now 2-0. Halfway through the first period. Off the draw. Back to Pavlikova, Petra Pavlikova. Sent ahead by Godin. Godin can't knock it down, and back come the Slovaks. Mikaskova ahead for Yurkova, Petra Yurkova, Milkaskova. And she sends it across there for Velikova. And back the ice, Godin will chase down Pavlikova. Again, Velikova. Knocked down by Yako. And away come the Swiss. And back behind her net, Martine Chevalier. Chevalier sends it ahead there for Salm. Salm hits Rats in flight. Rats battling with Majutova down there in the corner. Rats and Majutova. And Salm will knock that down. She can't find it. Slovaks. Ball goes high here in the glacier. Down into the glove of number 10, Majukova. And she may have closed her hand on that. Hollers from the Swiss bench. As Slovakia back into the attacking zone. And that ball is broken out by the Swiss. And we have a whistle here as the ball goes out of play. Chipped into the zone there by Loratan. Forechecked here by Rudeman. Rudeman can't get there. Gradle steps up. Gradle bumps in to Goreka, and she clears it out onto the stick of Krajnikova. Krajnikova in all alone. She shoots, and she scores. 3-0 for Slovakia early in the first. As that one squeaks between the blocker and the body of Aline Blazer. 3-0 Slovakia lead here. 5:38 remain in the first period. As the Swiss defender was turned around a little slowly there. A scoring play on that, Krajnikova from Kolkanova. Kept in there by Mueller. Mueller to Chirik. Sent toward the net. Cleared away. Chirik back with the ball on her stick. Fans on that shot. And we go into the corner. And it's turned over by Chirik, and away come the Slovaks. It's Rakova. Rakova met there by Stoffel. Stoffel has the ball on her stick. Shot. Big save. And Tomsikova manages to hang on by dropping the stick, but we see a little glimmer of offense from the Swiss there with a good pushback shift after being scored against. Face off to the right of the Slovakian goal. That's 23, Marie-Eve Reve. And the draw's back, and a big shot by Chevalier. And Tomsikova down again. Big shot, good rebound control by Tomsikova. As they battle down in the zone. That's number 12, Godin for the Swiss. And the Slovaks break out again. As Veliskova throws her stick at the loose ball there that time. Godin looking to get by the big Slovakian defender. That's Pavlikova, Petra Pavlikova. Swiss regroup behind their net. That's Jacko. Jacko on the ball. Chips it around the left wing. And that's sent ahead. And the speedy Salm. The speedy Salm on that ball. Followed up by Rats. And away they come again. It's Stasova. She's tripped by Rats, and that will be a tripping penalty. They don't come much easier than that for the officials. So Chantel Rats will sit for 2 or less. Slovakia will go to the power play with a 3-0 lead with 3:41 remaining here in the first period. Off the draw. In to pick that up is Gainsel. Sent back around. Majutova in on there for Slovakia. Majukova being watched by Gradle. Gradle sends it up the boards for Rudiman. Rudiman clears the blue line, but not out. Here's Ignatova. Ignatova with a very nice cross-seam pass. A shot and a goal. Very nice goal there by the Slovaks. That looked to be Petra Pavlikova burying that one on the power play. 4-0 Slovakia here. Three minutes, 13 seconds remain here. As the Slovaks take a 4-0 lead. Unfortunately, Aline Blazer not able to keep much out of the net here so far. Away come the Slovaks, or excuse me, the Swiss. That's sent ahead. Salm, the speedy Salm breaks away. Here's Salm on all alone. She shoots, and that's turned aside by Tomsikova. Salm not getting as much on that as she may have wanted. Easy to see the top line here for the Swiss. Salm, Rates. The two top players so far, and in comes Petrakova again. She's in, shoots, and she is also going to draw a hooking penalty on that play as the Swiss will be shorthanded again, and their captain will head to the box this time. That's Caroline Berchtold. So they'll be down in a man. 4-0 lead for Slovakia, and here they go to the power play again. So if you're the Swiss coaching staff, you can't be too happy with the way things have unfolded here early. It's a long tournament, though, and the girls will need to regroup and build off this slow start against the powerful Slovakia. And the Slovaks control off the draw. It's 79. Kapustova, Jana Kapustova, sent in deep for Stasova. Stasova watched tightly there on the boards. In around for Rakova. Rakova sends that into the corner, and the Swiss are able to get that to center, but no further. Kapustova sends it in, And that one-timer is shot wide by Stasova. Out front, wide open, number 61, Gajdasova has all day and all of the night, as the Beatles once said, to shoot that one. And Blazer will jump on that one and hold on. With 1:16 remaining in the power play, 1:43 in the period. And that shot wide. As the Swiss regain and send that one down the floor. And we talked about it earlier this morning. In a game like this where you're down, you want to have small victories. And one small victory as such would be to kill off this potent Slovakian power play. Petroskova sends it deep. Pavlikova. Sent shot from the left side. Pavlikova in. 34 seconds remain on the power play. Pavlikova sends it over here for Karafitova. Karafitova looking for the bomb. She lets it fly. That's just wide of the net. Pavlikova in. Karafitova calling for it on the blue line. She gets it, sends it wide for Stasova. Stasova lets that fly. That's off the mark. And a huge save by Blazer in the net. Velikova on that for the Slovaks. Penalty has expired. We're back to even strength. Zhirkova behind the net with the ball. Petrikova. Big save by Blazer again. Just a shooting gallery here for the the Slovaks. 12 seconds remain in the period. Tomsikova out to play it. 6 seconds remain. Nearly a turnover there as Cherig forces the play. And that'll do it for the first period. Slovakia with a commanding 4-0 lead after one. Shots on goal, Slovakia 9, Switzerland 2. The Swiss will look to regroup during this intermission, and we'll be right back after this quick break. Okay, and we're back for the ball drop in the second period here between Slovakia and Switzerland. Slovakia out to the early 4-0 lead in the first. And looking to build on that as we go forward here. Swiss send it deep into the Slovakia zone. And back to retrieve that is number 11, Rakova. Edita Rakova. Kept in by Marilyn Janchik for the Swiss. Mold Gaudin in battling hard. That's picked off in the middle there by Marie-Eve Reve. Gatchiksova sends that back to Tomsikova, and she'll hang on. And we'll get a face-off to the left of the Slovakian goal. 53 seconds here into this first period. Into the second period. It's something we've seen a lot of this week, and I'm sure we'll see more going forward, is the men's teams coming to support the women's teams, the women's teams coming out to support the men's teams. It's great to see, and something that you don't always get to do is have the men's and women's world championships together in the same city at the same time. So this is it's neat, and it's good to see. And away come the Slovaks. It's Jurkova. Tries to hit Velikova over here on the left wing, but she misses. And that's in around the boards. Vanessa Steiner picks that up, and she runs into Jurkova there. Here's Jurkova. Steiner sends it out to the blue line for Pavlikova. Pavlikova's shot is blocked by the gritty Lillian Salm. And Salm will draw the penalty. Pavlikova will go to the box, and the Swiss will get their first man advantage of this one. A minute and 28 seconds here into the second period. So the Swiss regroup after a rough start in the first and get their legs moving, and Salm, the speedy, gritty Salm, draws a penalty here. And the Swiss will see if they can crack Tomsikova. The Swiss only with 2 shots in the first, and they're looking to build on that. Away to come on the rush, led by Marilyn Janik. Janik sends it deep. Janchik. Marilyn Janchik. Heading back. She pinches. Almost gets caught. Slovakia looking to break away. And that was Stasova. She's tricky, and she's out there with Ignatova on this penalty kill. Back to retrieve the ball is Makdukova of the Slovaks. And away we go. Here's Chevalier, 92, in for Chirig, Letitia Chirig. And they're battling on the boards. Makdukova and Chirig. In to help her is Godin. Makdukova in there again. And that's sent the length of the floor by Stasova. And we'll get a change for the Slovaks. There's Salm. She's calling for the long pass. Salm in to pick that up. She chips it ahead for Stoffel. Stoffel met there by Rakova. Rakova wins that battle. Back for Gadjasova. And she sends it ahead. And away is the dangerous Kaputstova as she's in. She's in. Shoots just wide of the goal. And away come the Swiss. Sent ahead, Salm can't pick that one up. And that's going to go for icing. And there'll be a face-off to the left of Aline Blazer. Away come the Slovaks again. Penalty is over. Sent wide, and that's picked off by Brutin. Brutin with a pass into the feet of Stoffel. She can't come up with it. And it's Yurkova. Yurkova sends it deep. Backhand pass by Pavlikova. And she tries to make that connect, but it's a little too far for Migaskova. Stopped at the blue line by Zisnanska. And the Swiss will send that down. And they'll be called for icing with 4 minutes and 9 seconds. 4 minutes and 10 seconds expired on the clock here. And that's deep. And Inatova is on that. Inatova back to the point. That one is blocked on the way through by the big captain, Berchtold. Yurkova. Kept in by Lalakova, Denisa Lalakova. Over for Statsova. Statsova sends that towards the net. And a quick whistle by the referee as Blazer chips that one out. 4 minutes, 50 seconds now gone here in the second period. Slovakia still leads 4-0, leading on the shot clock 10-2. And on the it's Bednarova. Bednarova. And that's it back in behind where Apathilos will battle for it. That's back out here for Krashnikova. Goretzka on that. Goretzka sends it around. Stoffel for the Swiss. Can't chip it out. Back in deep for Krashnikova. Goretzka in on the battle with a Palos. Krashnikova. Goretzka. Goretzka out front. Big shot by Bednarova. And away comes Stoffel. Stoffel ahead for Laviera. Dropped for Stoffel. Stoffel with a head of speed. Comes in, sends it in front. And that pass does not connect. And that'll be played by Goretzka. Bednarova plays that ahead. And away come the Slovaks again. Goretzka. Goretzka back for Bednarova. That long shot from center by Bednarova goes in. And the Swiss keeper, Aline Blazer, having a tough time down there in net today. Slovakia out now to a 5-0 lead here. And at this level, the Swiss really need to have better goaltending than they're getting right now from Aline Blazer. 5 goals on 11 shots, and that's their weakness right now for the Swiss. Off the draw, sent in by Reve. Turned over. On that is 61, Gadjasova. She sends that wide for Janchik. Janchik for the Swiss. Battling in, Janchik. Knocked off the ball, and away come the Slovaks. And with the breakaway pass is Kabachstova. Kabachstova is in, shoots, and that's a big save by Blazer. And that's the type of goaltending that the Swiss are going to need if they're going to want to compete here. Big breakaway save by Aline Blazer. So on the draw, Mikshkova. That's tapped back for Pavlikova, and she sends it in. Mikshkova on it again. Mikshkova. She sends it deep. That's picked off, and that's chipped out to center, where the speedy Salm is away again. Here's Salm, Lillian Salm, and she's shut down on her attempt. Salm met with some more resistance in front. Mikshkova chips it ahead, and that's taken away by Karafyatova. And here's Velichkova, and Velichkova sends that wide. And there's a hard hit by Karafyatova. Sent ahead, knocked down with the glove of Pavlikova. And that's taken away by Brutin. Brutin sends that around for Berchtold. Salm looking for the breakaway pass. Salm picks that up, and she's joined on the rush by Rudiman. Salm with Rudiman in front, and that's knocked away. Picked up behind the net by Machitova. And the Swiss getting a change in. Backhanded there by Stasova. Knocked down. Pavlikova. And it's back to be picked up by Machitova. And it's sent ahead here for 28, who we don't have on our sheet. I apologize, folks. Stasova again for Slovakia. Stasova, Sin, met by Noel at the blue line. Oh, and a nice pass to Ignatova. She shoots, and another big save by the keeper for Switzerland as she's now getting into her groove. Stasova sends one wide, back out front. Another save by Blazer. Another save shot over the net by Ignatova. And Blazer will jump on that one as the Swiss finally have something to tap their sticks about. 5-0. 6:26 left to play here in the second. The Slovaks with a 5-0 lead. Face off to the right of the Swiss net. And that draw is scrambled in the corner for the Slovaks. Goretzka battling down low. Away with the ball comes Krajnikova. She sends it in front. Goretzka's there. And Yako for the Swiss, able to get it out to center. Well, that's turned back around. Here's Appelis. Appelis sends it ahead. And that's kept in by Kalnishkova. Kalnishkova now getting a shift for the Slovaks. And back to play that. Bednarova. Bednarova has the last Slovak goal. That's ahead for Krajnikova. Krajnikova sends that in for Schirig. Schirig for the Swiss. Gets the net. She's met there by Goretzka. Goretzka turns that over. Pass out front. Bednarova. And a huge toe save. A huge toe save by Aline Blazer. And the Swiss men's national team in attendance. Give her a big tap for that. As the shots on goal now in favor of the Slovaks are 15-2. Swiss yet to have a shot on goal here in the second period. On the draw here, Gajsova, as Marie-Eve Rivi is thrown out of the draw. Godin, as that one's chipped up high. Godin battles with Gajsova as number 25, Jaco, is filling in, playing a little physical down there. Kabutsova on that. And it's Stasova again, the diminutive Slovak. Actually, that's Pavlovichova. And chipped ahead, and away come the Slovaks again. The Swiss clearly outmatched in this game. Here's Kapitsova. She sends that back for Rakova. Rakova sends that in. And on the ball is Gatsova. Gatsova sends that out front. And Godin will pick that up. And away comes Godin for the Swiss. Godin joined on the 3-on-2 by Jancic. and Reeve. As she's met at the blue line by the Slovakian defender. 4 minutes, 20 seconds left to play here in the second period. The score remains Slovakia 5, Switzerland nothing. And away come the Slovaks again, and they'll be whistled on the icing. And the face-off will come all the way down to the Slovakia end. 4 minutes, 8 seconds remains here in the second period. Slovakia with this game well in hand. People starting to creep into the building here for the marquee matchup today, the 2:30 game between the host Canadians and the Great Britain national women's team. That should draw a big crowd here at the Glacier as the Canadian women get set to play their first game of the tournament. And back around the net for Karafiatova. That's chipped ahead. And a great lead pass there. Here's Velichkova, and she is taken down hard by Steiner on a solid defensive play. Velichkova thought she was alone. Out front, shot by Yurkova, and that's saved. And away come the Swiss. It's Berchtold. Berchtold sends it around, and the 2-on-1 developing here. 3-on-1. It's Salm, and she has Brutan. Salm tries to feed Brutan, but that's broken up nicely by Pavlikova, the big Russian defender. Salm taken hard into the boards. Referee says play the advantage. Salm gets up, sends that in front, and that's knocked down. Another one off Tomsikova. And around the boards, picked up here by Yurkova. Yurkova for the Slovaks. On her own, tries to stick handle through the middle. She's met with some resistance. Yurkova with some good hand-eye to bat that out of the air and dump it deep. Back to retrieve for the Swiss, Barbara Gradel. Gradel sends that around for Gateson. Vera Gainsian. And here's Stasova. Stasova sends that in. Stasova, again a shot. That hits a foot and falls over the net as big number 18, Stephanie Loretten, knocks that away. And back come the Swiss. It's Brutan. Brutan in the middle for Gainson. Oh, dandy move there. Oh, and a huge glove save by Aline Blazer in the Swiss net. Too little, too late, but she's keeping the score close. Another shot and a save. Another shot wide by Ignatova. And that's sent around the boards by the Swiss defender. Chipped out again. There's Brutan. Sent wide and sent down the floor. And back to retrieve that is Majitova for the Slovaks. Referee calls that icing. Face off to the right of the Swiss goal. 1:34 to play here in the second period. Around the boards, Slovaks keep it in. And it's the very dangerous Krajnikova. She's been all over the ice tonight. And away come the Swiss. It's 14, Oliveira. She sends it towards the goal. And it's just out of the reach of Stoffel. Sent back to the point. A shot by Chevalier. Rebound. Stoffel nearly buries that. But Zuzana Tomsikova all over that rebound as her defender grabs her stick. Back in front of the net. And the Swiss with their first signs of offense this game. Kept in by Appelis. And it just bounces off the stick of Stoffel as she's relentless on the forecheck. Zidnanska out there tries to send the long feed. That's broken up by Mueller. Back again, and away goes Goretzka, the speedy winger for the Slovaks. Goretzka gets on there, and that's chipped back around the zone for Apolos. And Apolos sends that up, and that's chipped, and Godin has a break. Here's Godin. Maud Godin finally gets to it, but it rolled too far, and she's met there by Gachsova. Gachsova, Maldan, and Reeve were in there battling. Whistle blows the play dead with 7.9 seconds to go here in the second, and there'll be a face-off to the right of the Slovak goal. Off the draw, chipped ahead, and away goes the Slovak forward. Kabitstova knows there's only a couple of seconds left, sends it on goal, shot. And Pavlovichkova sends that just over the net. So after 2 periods of play, the Slovaks lead the Swiss 5-0 here at the Glacier in women's pool action, Group E. We'll be right back with the call of the third after this. Okay, and we're back here with our second intermission guest from Team Switzerland, Marie-Eve Reve. And Marie, what's your take on things so far here this morning against this Slovakian team? How do you feel you guys are doing?
I think that that's a tough game for us because they play so good together. I think they are used to play together and 5-on-5. Switzerland we play 4-on-4, and it's really hard for the first game to start against Slovakia but in the same time, it's good for us.
So you guys, when you normally play, it's 4-on-4
4 on
and
4
not 5-on-5.
outside.
Well, that's a huge difference.
Yeah, that's a huge difference.
And what's the reason that you played 4-on-4 normally rather than 5-on-5?
Because we don't have the infrastructure, the arena, to play 5-on-5, unfortunately, in Switzerland. And we don't have enough players. We have only like 5 teams in all Switzerland for a woman team.
Okay.
That's not enough.
Yeah. And so how was this team selected?
They just pick up the best player on each team.
So the coaching staff selected the players, asked them to join?
Yeah.
Okay. And so a tough game against Slovakia. You knew they were going to be good.
Yeah,
what was your expectations? What were your goals coming to this tournament as a team?
As a team, just to do the best and try to just compete against the best nation, like US, or try to do something against Czechia, maybe we can, and Slovakia, who knows.
And for you personally, is this your first time at the World Championships, or how many have you participated
I went
in?
to Pittsburgh, Pilsen, and Bratislava already.
Okay, so this is your 4th time, so you're a veteran.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so the younger girls on the team looking up to you. How are they coming along, the younger players? How have they done?
They are really good. They have a huge motivation, and maybe we have not the talent, but we want to fight.
Absolutely. Well, you're down in this one, but it's a long week. So good luck in the rest of this game and the next one. And we'll talk to you later. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, and thank you very much to Marie-Eve Reve for joining us for the interview there. And we'll get back for the 3rd period. As she mentioned, the Swiss team normally play 4-on-4 in their home country just because they don't have the facilities and the numbers. So there's all types of different things at play when you come to these World Championships. So the Swiss team obviously will get the kinks out here and readjust to playing 5-on-5 and see how they do for the rest of this one. They were much better in the second than in the first, and I'm sure they'll build as the tournament progresses. And there's another shot and a save. Chip back out to the center ice. And there's Psalm, the speedy Psalm. She turns it over and in. And here goes Chantel Ratz. Ratz in on the ball. And that's turned around, and back come the Slovaks. That's Stasova again. Sends it out. And in on that is 79 Kapustova, who's been all over the floor tonight for this Slovakian team. And she battles in there with Franziska Mueller. And Kapustova takes her player down, and she will get a penalty. And the Swiss will go back to the power play. As Kapustova has been nailed for tripping. And the Swiss will go back to the power play. And as we talked about earlier, looking to get small victories, looking to maybe score a power play goal, maybe break the shutout, whatever it takes here to get them over the hump. And that's a scramble draw. Back for Karafyatova. Chipped into the zone by Mikaskova. And back to retrieve that is Chevalier. Martine Chevalier. Ahead for Jančić. Jančić loses the handle, and the Slovaks will send it back down the floor. In on the forecheck is Shurik. She's met there by big Pravlikova, Petra Pravlikova, an absolute force for this Slovak team on the blue line. That's taken away from her. Chipped out, and it'll get out to the red line. Chevalier will knock that down, keeps it in. Here's Jančić. She'll let that fly, and that's just wide of the Slovak net. And Tomsikova very acrobatically jumps out of that net and tries to keep the ball from bouncing off the end boards and creating havoc. So a very heads-up play by Tomsikova to make sure that doesn't bounce back out in the slot on the power play. So 1 minute, 11 seconds remains in the penalty to Kabustova. Jana Kabustova in the box for tripping. 13-15, remember, in the third. And out on this draw is our guest, Marie-Eve Reve. And the Slovaks win the draw and hammer that down the floor. And Eileen Blazer will cover that ball as she felt the pressure approaching from Ignatova. On that is Ignatova again. Ignatova hammers her player, and the Swiss will go to a 5-on-3 man advantage as Ignatova takes down Salm, the gritty Swiss forward, and Ignatova will go to the box for 2 or less. So 54 seconds remaining in the penalty to Kabustova. And now one of their top penalty killers, Ignatova, will also go off for 2 minutes. .12:58 remaining here in the third period. Prime opportunity for the Swiss to come through, maybe get their first goal of this competition. And Salm moves that ahead for Brutin. Brutin over here for Berchtold. Berchtold will send that in. But Berchtold doesn't get the red, and the Swiss captain will be charged with the icing call, and the face-off will come back to the left of Aline Blazer. Face-off to the left of the Swiss goal. Switzerland on a 5-on-3 for the next 43 seconds. Gadasova out there penalty killing for the Slovaks. Now it looks like one of those penalties that will be washed out is Mold Godin is headed to the penalty box. Godin is whistled for a 2-minute holding minor. So we'll play 4-on-3 for 24 seconds, and then the teams will play 4-on-4 for a minute, and then the Slovaks will go on the power play for a minute. Face off, one back, shot from the point, high and wide by Karafyatova. Away come the Swiss. And Reve, just out of her reach, the veteran of 4 women's national or women's world's championships. She's been to every single one, as this is the 4th women's world championship. Sent ahead, they gain the blue, and it's Janchik, and that's in for Scherig. Scherig looking for Reeve, and that's knocked away by the stellar defender Pavlikova, Petra Pavlikova. In the zone, blocked by Chevalier, and it's sent ahead to Stoffel. Stoffel, who's been dangerous for the Swiss here today. Stoffel looking for Salm, heading towards the net, and Salm just out of her reach. Salm greeted in the corner by big Machukova. Mikhaila Machukova for the Slovaks, and Salm battling deep, and away comes Stasova. Stasova with a head of steam coming up the right side. Stasova pulls up. Nice pass across to number 28, who, again, folks, I apologize, don't have on the sheet. And that's chipped by, and here comes Stoffel. Stoffel into the corner with Krajnikova. And Krajnikova will come out with that. Krajnikova watched closely by Stoffel. 15 seconds remaining in the Swiss penalty. Well, and the Swiss men's team want a call there. But out of the box, here's Ignatova. Ignatova in, onto the backhand, shoots. And a big save by Eileen Blazer. In for 77, that's Carole Brutin. She turns it over. Hard to the net. Goes Ignatova. And the goaltender will stop that and hold on with 10:23 remaining here in the third period. Reminder to fans, our next game, big matchup between Great Britain and the host team Canada. Both teams will play their first game of the tournament, and we're looking forward to a good crowd here at the Mount Pearl Glacier. And of course, if you can't make it here to the Glacier, you can watch us here online on the Bell Alliance Community One Network. Dumped back in the zone by Goretzka. Goretzka out there again with Bednarova. And on the forecheck is Franziska Mueller. Franziska Mueller in deep as she battles with Kolnukova. Kolchnova. Sorry, folks. Never been to Slovakia. And away they come. Here's the Slovaks. And she's tripped up. There's going to be a penalty there. And that's going to go again to big number 27, Krajnikova. She's going to go for tripping. And the Swiss will get another power play with 9:39 remaining here in the third period. As we see the Canadian and the Great Britain teams in, getting ready to warm up for their match. That's taking place at 2:30 local time. It'll be 6 p.m. in Great Britain, 1 o'clock Eastern time for the majority of Canadians out there. As the Swiss are back to the power play, here's Revi. Revi sends it deep for Godin. Godin battling with big 11, Rakova. Rakova steps on the ball and goes down. Here's Revi. Revi looking to the point. We're looking for Janchik to set it up. Chevalier turns, fires. Chevalier again with some time, and she fires it wide of the net. Chevalier tries to send it back out front, but Tomsikova grabs that and hangs on with 1:27 remaining in the power play. 9 minutes, 6 seconds remaining here in the third period. Reminder to fans, you can follow us on Twitter at 2013WBHC at gmail.com. Off the draw, big shot by Berchtold. And that's knocked down. Back to the point again. Another big shot by Mueller. And Tomsikova hangs on to that one. So Lillian Salm on the draw for the Swiss. Back, shot, big save, Tomsikova. And Salm driving the net is absolutely hammered. Big save by Tomsikova off the bomb from Sabrina Knoll on the point. And the Swiss will get another two-man advantage as Lillian Salm has drawn 2, maybe 3 penalties here in this game. And headed off is the big, tough defenseman, Pravlikova. Salm on the draw. And she loses that, and it's sent the length of the floor. Back to recover is Sabrina Knoll. Sabrina Knoll has that big rocket of a shot. And here she comes. It's Knoll. She sends it out wide for Bechtold. And that'll come back on the icing. That's a couple of times now the Swiss have iced the ball while on a two-man advantage, and it's not the way to go about things. Face-off won by Revi. And that'll be chipped out and down the floor. Back to recover, Majitova. She sends that across for Lalichkova. And that's turned over. There's Lilichkova. She'll fire it down, but not out as Jancic keeps it in. On the right side, that's Reeve. Reeve for Jancic. Jancic for Reeve. Back for Jancic. Wide over here for Chevalier for Reeve, and she can't connect on the one-timer. And that's cleared high off the glass, but not out. Reeve still with the ball. She can't find the handle, and she gets away with a trip there as the ball is cleared down the floor by Slovakia. Ixnatova and Chevalier battle. 7:40 remains here in the third. And that's picked off in the middle there by Krachnikova. And back comes Stoffel. Stoffel with a solid game for the Swiss here tonight. Her and Salm been the best players in this broadcaster's estimation. And around and away they come again. It's the speedy Beshnarova. Beshnarova sends it wide for Krachnikova. She dekes, she dipsy, she doodles, still with the ball. Turns it over, and the Swiss will come away with just 5 seconds remaining in the power play. The Swiss attack the line. It's Stoffel. Stoffel with the ball. Sends it towards net. That's knocked away by Tomshikova. And there'll be a battle in the corner as Salm is in there again, battling hard. Ball comes away to Pavlichkova. Pavlichkova sends it deep. There she is again. Shot and a big save. Hammered from the side. And we've got a crease violation by the Slovaks. And that will bring the face-off back outside the blue line. 6:19 to play here in the third period. You're watching us live from St. John's, Newfoundland, the 2013 World Ball Hockey Championships on the Bella Line Community One Network. Ball sent into the Swiss zone. First on that is Gachsova. Gachsova sends that behind the net. Sent out front, creeping in was Gachsova, but she can't come up with it. And away we come again. Sent wide. Here's Pavlichkova. Pavlovichkova. She sends that wide. And a huge sprawling save by Aileen Blazer off the stick of Michkaskova. So after a rough start, Blazers certainly come back around. Unfortunately, her team was down too far before they were able to come back and get that stellar goaltending. But as we talked about before, definitely something for the Swiss to build on here. Face-off scrambled in the slot. There's a shot that's blocked by Rive, and away come the Swiss. That's Noel. Noel sent back in around for Apelthos. Apelthos on the backhand tries to chip. She loses it, takes down her player, and the Slovaks will go to the power play with about 5 minutes remaining here. That one shot just wide. Slovaks still controlling the ball down low in the delayed penalty. Statsova is the player off the bench. And with 5:01 remaining, there will be a penalty here against Team Switzerland. Back to the point. And here's Lalikova. She sends it in deep. And back for Lalikova. She's got the big bomb. Been used primarily on the power play today. That's in for Machitova. Stasova out wide. Stasova again. Lalikova sneaking in, as is Iatova. Inatova in close. Back here for Lalikova. In for Inatova. She walks, she shoots, back door with the feed. Stasova can't find the tap in. 4:05 to go here, 1 minute left in the penalty. Here's Stasova again. Stasova. And back here for Lalikova. The big one-time shot, that's blocked. Inatova with the ball. Oh, nice give and go there. Inatova robbed by Blazer. Inatova looking. Shot one time, fanned on it, and Stasova is back behind, and she feeds Inatova for the easy tap in back door. And that'll make it a 6-0 score here at the Glacier. You felt like something was coming, and they finally got the Swiss out of position, available to finish that off. So 6-0 here for Slovakia with 3:34 remaining in the third period. And away comes Slovakia again off the draw. It's Gajsova. Gajasova drops it back. Big shot and a goal. It was Ivana Gajasova from Maria Gajasova. Not sure if they are related, but they connected on that goal. 7-0 now. Slovakia leads. So, folks, Slovakia asserting themselves as a dominant squad here in the women's division of the 2013 World Ball Hockey Championship. And the Swiss will call a timeout, down 7-0. And 3:23 remaining in the third. And we'll also take a quick break. We'll be right back. We're back after a quick break. You see the Canadian women's national team taking part in their warm-up here on the running track at the Glacier Arena as they get set to face Great Britain in their opening game here. Swiss rallying out of that timeout, hoping to finish hard here for the last 3 minutes, 23 seconds. Possibly just getting together to say, hey, if we don't do anything else here, let's try and get one by Tomsikova down there in the Slovakian goal. On the draw, Brutan. Brutan wins it back for Steiner. Ahead for Salm. One of the lone bright spots for Switzerland here in this game. And coming out of that timeout, the Swiss have found themselves with another penalty. And they are being whistled for, I'm not sure what. I'm confused as to what happened there. I don't know if that was blown down for icing, possibly. I thought there was a penalty being called, but regardless, 3:04 remains here. And the Slovaks with a 7-0 lead. That's back to the point. A cross shot, knocked down. And with the breakaway again, it's Yurkova. She has to stop at the blue line to pick up the ball. Yurkova is in, hooked. And Yurkova gets it back. Shot just wide by Velechkova. And the net is off, and the face-off will remain in the Switzerland zone, I believe, is where the referee pointed for that one. There's 2:44 remain here in this game, and Slovakia will move to 1-0. And they will move to the tie in the top of their pool with USA, temporarily withholding the tiebreaker based on goals for and against. And away comes big number 90, Marilyn Janczyk. Janczyk leading the rush for the Swiss as that ball pops up and out of play. And we'll have a face-off to the right of Tomsikova in the Slovakian goal. And Marie-Eve Revy on the draw. She loses that draw. And back to the point. Away come the Slovaks, and again with the quick breakout as Ignatova and Stasova break away. And on that is Lelikova. Lelikova sends that towards the goal. And that's knocked out of harm's way. And here's Janczyk. Janczyk move the ball ahead. Chevalier up now looking for some offense. And that's back. Picked up easily by Lelikova. Sends it ahead. And here come the Slovaks again. And that's Krajnikova, Lenka Krajnikova. She sends that wide. She's been a bright spot for the Slovaks here today. It's had a real good game. That's sent back. Knocked down by Kolshonova. Over on the left point. She sends it here. The close side for Zitsnanska. Gabriela Zitsnanska, who hasn't seen much time today. And the coach sends her out there with a 7-0 lead. Away come the Swiss. Sent out. Closed in on by Rats as she tries to make the play there. And back to retrieve is Vanessa Steiner. And away come the Swiss. It's number 4, Geinslin. And she's taken off the ball by Bednarova. And that comes out here to Krajnikova. And she gets through again. Taken away by Bechtold. With 46 seconds to play. I think we have an offside call at the Swiss blue line. 46 seconds remain here. Slovakia 7, Switzerland 1. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with you. And away come the Swiss. 23 seconds remain. That's sent down the floor. And that's going to go a little too far. Rudeman sends it, and they beat out the icing. Slovakia 13 seconds away now from wrapping this one up. And that's touched on the offside by Sabrina Noel, who just not thinking here at this point of the game. Touched that ball, didn't realize that she was in over the blue line. So Slovakia will come away with a 7-0 victory here today on the strength of a very impressive team game. And they dominated in most facets of this one for sure. And that's sent in deep for Kapistova. And the Slovaks, you'll hear their bench go up now. A 7-0 victory for them. We'll be right back with the player of the game announcements, the Slovakian anthem, and we'll speak to a member of the winning team right after this. Well, Lillian Salm, the recipient of the Player of the Game for Switzerland, and Petra Pavlichkova, the birthday girl, it would appear, the winner for Slovakia. So here's the Slovakian anthem. Well, there you have it, folks. Slovakia, with a dominant performance, moves to 1-0 here at the 2013 World Ball Hockey Championship. And we'll be joined very shortly by a member of the Slovakian team to get their synopsis on how that game played out. So we'll be back in just a couple of moments. All right, and we're back here with Petra Pravlikova,
Yes.
player of the game for Team Slovakia. It's also her birthday, and she says she's 24 for anybody who knows her and is watching back home. So we'll blame that on the translation, I suppose. So, Petra, a great game for you guys. You were very steady back on the blue line for sure. And, yeah, your mic's on. So tell me a little bit about how the team felt about that game and where you guys look to go from here.
Yeah, but the game it was. We thought that it will be a hard game because it's usually the first game. It's hard game because after the flights and everything. But we felt great. Like from first period till third period, it was good. Like
Yeah. And you guys won the last championship, am I
Yes.
correct in saying
yes,
that?
in Bratislava.
Yes,
Yeah.
as the host team. So obviously Canada here now as the host
Yeah.
team looking to do the same.
Yes.
Do you expect you'll run into those guys in the gold medal game? Is that
Yeah.
what you're thinking? Yeah.
Yeah.
And what happened the last time your two teams played?
Oh, it was a really, really hard game because they you have a lot of good players. Like they are runners, good runners. It was a tough game, but we should do more goals. So more goals. So,
And that's what matters at the end of the
Yeah.
day, right?
yeah.
So how long have you guys been here in St. John's? When did you get in?
Yesterday at 11 o'clock. So
Okay, so late last night,
Yes.
an early game today, so now you have some time to relax. So, Petra, where do you play your hockey during the year? Do you play ice hockey as well?
yes,
Are
of
you
course.
on the,
My,
on the female national team?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and my home team was in Russia, in a town called Uchta. It's a republic of Komi in Russian, so it's too far away from here.
Is that where they had the World Junior
Yeah,
men's this
yeah.
year? Yes, yeah.
So
Yeah, on the other side of the world, I guess, from here.
yeah.
And did you play in the Women's World Championships in Ottawa this year as well?
Where?
In Ottawa? The World Championship?
Where?
The Ottawa for the national team?
Yeah, but this year or last year?
This year? Or last
Yeah,
year?
yeah,
Last year?
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Too much, you can't keep it all straight,
Yeah.
eh? So, who do you guys play next?
USA, I guess so.
Play the USA, yeah. So we saw them earlier. They had a good team. You guys will be tied for first in the division. So this game now will probably be for first place. What do you expect when you play them tomorrow?
I don't know. We have to win. Like
You have to win. All right. And that's the message coming from Team Slovakia. We have to win. All right, Petra. Well, thanks for joining
thank
us.
you.
Get
Thanks
some
so much.
rest.
Yeah.
And is there anyone you want to say hello to back home?
No, I just want to say hi to everybody. Like nothing special.
Hi, everybody. Nobody special.
Yeah.
Coming straight from her mouth. Well, thank you very much. And
Yeah,
we'll
you're
see you later. And happy birthday.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Ciao.
All right.